Hello, my dear friends. Today's topic, which is abiotic and biotic factors. I am Dr. D.D. Sawant, a Department of Geography from J.A.T Art, Science and Commerce College for Women, Malegaon District, Nashik. So, the topic which includes on the abiotic and biotic factors. So, what are factors that organisms need in order to survive or that affects their survival? So, as far as concerned to the biotic and abiotic factors, which are interrelated. So, biotic and it is also called as a organic components of the biosphere ecosystem. Environment consists of three subsystems. For example, number one is a plant system. Second one, that is a animal system, including man, and third one, that is a microorganisms. So, of these three subsystems, plants are the most important because plants alone produce organic matters which are used by themselves and by animals, including microorganisms, either directly or indirectly. Plants also make the cycling and recycling of organic matter and nutrients possible in different components of the biospheric ecosystem. So, if one of the factor is changed or removed, it impacts the availability of other resources within the system. As a biotic, we have seen that this biotic factors are all of the living organisms in the environment, and a plant, which is a one of the factor which is a very important one. And so it in this biotic factors, what it includes, those are a animals. In this, what comes, the insects, birds, reptiles, fish, plants, fungi, protists, and bacteria are all of biotic or living factors. So if you'll see the plant system, how it is, it is a social grouping of plant species are called plant community, and plant are basic unit of this community. Plants are found on any land in different forms. For example, woodland, forest, meadows, bogs, grasslands, marshlands, etc. These different forms of plants are collectively known as vegetation. If we'll see, in other words, all the plants which grow together in any area from its vegetation, the character, if you see, that which depends not just on the different species present but on the relative proportions in which their members are represented. Thus, the vegetation of any particular habitat consists of group of plants in different species or some of the species which are ecologically related, meaning thereby different plants groups are able to occupy the same habitat because of their competitive ability and range of tolerance. As a plant community have been defined in a very variety of ways by ecologists and biogeographers. For example, number one is a social grouping of plant species are called plant community, and second one, that is a plant communities represents groups of plants which occur together and possess a certain degree of unity of individuality. So, certain characteristics of the plant community which we have seen. We will come to the next factor, that is a abiotic factor. The abiotic or inorganic or physical components of the biosphere of the biosphere or the ecosystem represents physical environment of the whole biosphere or part thereof. This component on an average includes the lithosphere, the atmosphere, and the hydrosphere. Generally, if you see, these are considered as land and or land, soil, yeah, air and water respectively. If the whole of this biosphere is taken to be an ecosystem at global scale, these are three physical or abiotic components are considered as the subsystems of biospheric system. While discussing to this lithospheric as a component, in this the lithosphere is an important component of the biosphere. The lithospheric components consist of elements which are very smaller to bigger are, for example, iron, nickel, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, etc. Rocks and soils, if you see, these are igneous types of rocks are seen, sedimentary types of rocks are there, metamorphic, these are the three types which are been seen, and subtypes if you see of the soils, those are a podzol soil is there, lato soils are there, latosols are there, alluvial soil is there, loam soil is there, etc. Micro landforms, if you see, relief features of the third order, those are irregular landforms. In this, various types of landforms are seen. Those are V-shaped valleys are there, U-shaped valleys, sea cliffs are there, rock platforms are there. So, as a depositional landforms, if you see that those are a sand dunes, deltas, escarps, sea witches, etc. And meso landforms, if you see, those are a relief features. Yeah, second order, those for example, landforms evolved due to endogenic forms like mountains, plains, and plateaus. As we discuss of the various components, those are abiotic and abiotic components combined to create an ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living and non-living things considered as a unit that it is shown in this clip. So all we are knowing that 29% of the land which is covered by the land and 71% of the water which is covered on this planet. So competition, living organisms compete with organisms of the same species as well as other species for food, water, for nesting space, for shelter also, for mates to produce offsprings, nutrients from the soil, sunlight for photosynthesis, space to grow. So, as a for growing, the impact of changing factors, those are a single factor which is change, perhaps by pollution or natural phenomenon, the whole system could be altered. For example, humans can alter environments through farming or irrigating. While we usually cannot see what we are doing to various ecosystems, the impact is being felt all over. For example, in nowadays, in coming age, acid rain in certain regions has resulted in the decline of fish population. Not only fish population, but the whole the environment and the this earth means globe on this globe. So horror, pollution and all these things are disturbed. So for that, it is very difficult to study all these things. So, as organisms, if you see, are known as decomposers because these decompose the dead plants and animals and other organic matter in different forms. During the process of decomposition of organic matter, microorganisms obtain their food as well as their differentiate and separate complex organic matter and thus make them simple so that this may be again used by autotrophic primary producer green plants. A large number of microbacteria and fungi are included in this category of microorganisms. So there are three stages of study of animals and microorganisms, which are identification of all animals and microorganisms in a given region, so the available knowledge of the that animal kingdom, phyla, classes, order, family, genera, species, distribution of animals, their evolution, dispersal, extinction, relationship between animals and their physical environment, the role of animals in the ecosystem, the relationship between plants and animals and their natural interaction, which we are discussing. So, other properties of ecosystem and ecosystem productivity, ecosystem stability, and instability have been discussed in this uh, video. So, here energy flow in the ecosystem. This is the very interesting one. Source of energy, ecological production, trophic level, food chains, ecological pyramids. Yes, for example, etc. are circulation of elements of the ecosystem, which we have discussed. Thank you. Thank you very much.